King Charles made a controversial choice about Princess Eugenie's royal role that has left Camilla in tears. It is a terrible blow to her. What does the king think about the future of Princess Eugenie? And why has Camilla's reaction to this choice been so strong? Come with us as we talk about the specifics of this choice. A lovely start for Princess Eugenie. Tall towers and a classic Gothic style make the Garrison Chapel in Chelsea a beautiful place for a royal event, full of hope and meaning. The chapel used to be a quiet spot where soldiers prayed before going to war. Now it was the scene of a lively gathering full of new ideas and exciting possibilities. Princess Eugenie walked in on May 22, 2024, beaming with pride and joy. Today was the start of a new and important part of her royal trip. Eugenie stood proudly with the other 35 smart and talented young people who had been picked to be part of King Charles's 35 under 35 program. He was 35 years old. The goal of this project was to help new leaders in fields like art, design, modern crafts, social care, and saving the environment, which was the 35th anniversary of the King's Foundation. As a mentor for this group, Princess Eugenie showed how seriously she was getting involved in the good works that her uncle King Charles has always cared about. Eugenie looked both royal and comfortable in the beautiful emerald green dress that was made just for her. Her real smiles and kind words made every young person feel seen and important as she met them. It was a moving scene. After going through hard times with her own family, the princess used her power to support and fight for important causes. There was more to this day than just giving gifts and following royal customs. That meant a new beginning for Eugenie. She could tell a different story, one that wasn't tied to her past problems. By taking on this job, she was right in the middle of her royal duties, which include caring for the planet, helping people, and sparking new ideas. Even though the event was very fancy, there was a quiet tension in the castle. There were still family fights, new generations, and questions about the future of the kingdom. King Charles wanted the royal family to honor old traditions while also being open to new ones. Events like this one made his goal very clear. First, what is this King's Foundation? Second, what did Eugenie do to help build it? Let us look at the King's Foundation's history. It was once called the Prince's Foundation. The King's Foundation has always been important to King Charles. Charles loved nature, old trades, and the strong bond between people and their surroundings, even before he became king. In 1990, he made these interests into a long-term project by setting up this organization. Its simple but powerful goal from the start was to make places and projects that cared about people and communities while also saving old traditions and the beauty of nature. The foundation worked slowly and quietly for a long time. To make real changes in Great Britain, it brought together experts in building design, workmanship, and city leadership. Their job was more than just making or fixing buildings. In order to care for the natural world, make people feel at home, and keep old traditions living, they built places that did all of these things. The foundation made a big difference in many places, like schools, towns, and hospitals like the newly renovated Aldart Children's Hospital. Not only did these projects help the environment, they also made a lot of jobs available in the area. A group of organizations, started by King Charles, was called the Prince's Organizations, and the King's Foundation was one of them. Charles started 17 of the 19 groups that are now in existence. Every organization worked in a different way to make the world a better place, protect the environment, and honor culture. Other royal groups gave the foundation more money in 2007, which showed how important its work was. The trust got bigger in 2016 when it joined forces with the Prince's Regeneration Trust, whose mission was to save old buildings. Some projects came to an end, but the foundation took on many new ones, which grew its reach. They did more than just build towns and houses, though a lot of care was also given to training. About 1,000 students join its programs every year to learn old skills, green building techniques, and how to make communities that care about both people and nature. The main goal wasn't just to hold on to old ways, but also to help young people make the world a better and friendlier place. King Charles always thought that places, people, and animals should all get along. Every project that the fund backed had this idea in it. The foundation brought together old knowledge and modern needs. Whether it was a group that kept old building skills alive, or a project that grew food in cities, the foundation changed its name to the King's Foundation when Charles became king. In 2023, it wasn't just a new title. This proved that the foundation was now a part of a bigger royal project. People saw that custom and progress could work together when the monarchy led the way in making big changes in society. This new way of thinking was shown on a new show in 2024 called 35 Under 35. The foundation picked 35 young people under 35 who were making a difference in areas like fair business, guarding old crafts, and saving the environment. The goal of this program was to make a group of brave, kind young leaders who would not only collect awards, but also shape the future. The reaction was wonderful. Over 500 people applied for 35 spots, which shows how much people care about these ideas. A young marine scientist who is protecting coral reefs, a 19-year-old who started a green cloth business, and a new artist who brought back old stone carving skills were some of the winners. Each one showed how well old and new ideas could go together. There was more to this special show than just King Charles's dreams. It was a message to everyone. It was a time of change and uncertainty for many young people. The foundation gave them a place to join and a voice. It made them want to use their skills to make something important for themselves and for everyone else. The foundation's head, Dan Lim, said that this show showed how much King Charles valued working together with people of all ages. Holding on to the past or following trends wasn't the point. It was about bringing together old and new information to make the world nicer, more fair, and healthier. Because the foundation cared about people, places, and wildlife, it stayed true to its mission through it all. The King's Foundation is still a steady, kind force for good, even though times and kings change. Every building that is saved, every skill that is taught, and every young person that is motivated, is a small but important step toward a better future for everyone. A quick look at her life before we get into the specifics of the part she was given. The life of Princess Eugenie. Princess Eugenie of York has had many wonderful times, followed many family customs, and achieved many personal goals. Story is one of love, kindness, and quiet strength. From the time she was in elementary school until she started her own family. Let's take a look at her life one step at a time, to see how this young lady has changed, but still stayed true to her roots. Eugenie went to Winkfield Montessori School when she was a little girl who was interested in learning about the world. From 1992 to 1993, she felt safe and cared for at this school. She then went to Upton House School in Windsor, to be close to Princess Beatrice, her older sister. They went to school together until 1995, and had many happy times near Windsor Castle, which was very important to both of them. Eugenie then went to Coworth Park School, which is now called Coworth Flexand School. She stayed there from 1995 to 2001. She learned to love art, history, and stories during these years. things that interested her for a long time. After Coworth Park, she went to St. George's School until 2003, which is close to Windsor Castle. Then something big happened. She started out at Wiltshire's Marlborough College, which is known for having a lot of royals as students. Eugenie worked hard and enjoyed school customs for 5 years at Marlborough. The best grades she got were in art, English writing, and the history of art. These accomplishments showed how much she loved being creative and sharing stories. Eugenie took a year off after high school to travel and see the world outside of books and school. It was hard this time too, though. Public funds paid for her protection, which caused some debate because of how much it cost. In 2011, her uncle Charles, who was Prince of Wales at the time, decided that Eugenie and Beatrice should no longer be protected by the cops. The royal family was moving with the times by making that tough choice. Eugenie began a new journey. In September 2009, when she studied English literature and art history, which were two things she was really interested in. She worked very hard and earned a good degree in 2012. This made her family very happy. In 2013, Eugenie did something brave after college. She went to New York City. When she left the royal palaces, she went to work as a manager of charity auctions at the online auction company, Paddle 8. Being able to live on her own in New York gave her a chance to learn new skills outside of being a princess, but she always loved her home country. She went back to London in July 2015 to work at the well-known Howard and Worth Art Gallery. She began as an associate director, but quickly proved her worth and was promoted to director. In 2017, she loved art, and this job let her combine the two. She made a lot of good ties in the art world, while staying true to herself. Eugenie joined the advising board at Goals House in July 2023. Goals House is a group that supports the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. This role showed how much she wanted to use her voice to help good causes and make the world a better place. Eugenie's personal life is just as interesting as her public life. In January 2018, the royal family said she was going to marry Jack Brooksbank on a ski trip. In Switzerland, they met. They met through friends and fell in love. After 7 years together, he proposed to her while they were on vacation in Nicaragua. E&J moved into Ivy Cottage at Kensington Palace in April 2018. After that, on October 12, 2018, they got married at the Chapel of St. George in Windsor Castle. Eugenie's wedding dress was one of a kind. It showed a low back that showed the scar from when she was a child and had surgery for scoliosis. This was her way of thanking the doctors who helped her and giving hope to people who were going through the same thing. Eugenie and Jack's first child, August Philip Hawke Brooksbank, was born in February 2021. Eugene had surgery before he was born, so he had to be delivered by C-section at the Portland Hospital in London. The month of August is named after Prince Albert, Prince Philip, and Reverend Edward Hawke Brooksbank. In November, he was christened at the Royal Chapel of All Saints in Windsor Park. Ernest George, Ronnie Brooksbank, their second boy, was born. On May 30, 2023, the family was very happy. His name was picked to honor family members, like King George V, George Brooksbank, and Major Ronald Ferguson, the fight of Princess Eugenie. Princess Eugenie has found a unique way to live as a princess and a normal person at the same time. She has done a great job of balancing her royal duties with her own hobbies and passions. She has shown the world over time that she is more than just a princess. Eugenie is making a kind and long-lasting change for today and tomorrow through her art, her work with others, and her care for the earth. Eugenie is a well-known artist who also helps people. She has made her own way as the head of Hauer and Witt, a well-known art gallery with locations all over the world. She's more than just a fancy title. She works hard to help up-and-coming artists, put together fun shows, and promote creative people who aren't always seen. The gallery's goal is to preserve culture while also letting new artists and ideas come in. Eugenie's effect is felt in more places than just art galleries, though. She has used her voice to push for a cleaner and nicer way of life since she got married in 2018. People liked how eco-friendly her wedding was. She didn't use single-use plastics and instead picked flowers that were grown nearby. She wanted an event that was in line with her beliefs and showed that even royal events can be good for the world. Not one that was all about show. As you became a mother, her love for the earth grew even stronger. That the world her kids will grow up in is very scary to her. Seeing her first son, August, and her second son, Ernest, every day makes her want to keep working for a healthier earth. She said from the heart in a speech in 2023 that she hoped her boys would grow up to see woods full of life and oceans free of trash. A lot of people all over the world feel this hope. Eugenie's kindness also shines through in the way she fights against major problems like modern slavery and trafficking of people. She helped start a group in 2017 that works to stop these terrible crimes with other groups, companies, and local leaders. More than €2 million has been raised by the group to help this cause. They have also helped many people start over by giving them support and training. Eugenie stands out because she is both a queen and a working mom. She decides to work while doing her royal duties, unlike some royals who only get money from the royal family. This makes her feel more like regular people who have to balance work, family, and public life. A lot of people respect her because she knows what problems normal parents face. Eugenie also meets new people through groups like 35 Under 35, which recognizes young people making a difference in many areas. People like Jack Harris, a filmmaker who uses his YouTube account to teach about climate change, were in the first group. His movie about shoreline erosion in Bangladesh made people around the world more aware of this important problem. Zahara Adamu is an agronomist from Nigeria and Britain who is 24 years old. She works on crops that can survive drought to help farmers who are having trouble with the weather. The girl, Lia Chen, who is only 17, came up with biodegradable glitter made from algae. Her eco-friendly glitter has been used instead of damaging plastic glitter at big events like the Glastonbury Festival. Theo Randall, a stonemason who is 29 years old, is using old-fashioned hand tools to help fix up parts of the old York Minster. The fact that this group is so different is what makes it unique. About 40% of them come from poor homes, and half are from a minority group. The program's goal is to give people chances they may not have had before. Eugenie is happy to be a part of this. She says this a lot. These kids aren't just the stars of tomorrow. Right now, they are making a difference. The show also gets people of different ages together. Eugenie, Dr. Samuel Ross, a fashion designer, and Alice Loxton, a historian, are some of the people who help young people. This mix lets both sides give and receive. Help. A mentor is an older person who helps a young person. The young person gives the mentor new thoughts and points of view. She does a lot to make the art world a friendlier place. She knows how tough it is for new artists to meet people and show their work. She wants to use her skills and contacts to help these artists get noticed. The part that King Charles gave her caused some trouble, and it was between her and Camilla. How did Camilla feel about the part? Stay with us. What was going on behind palace doors? There are always secret stories going on behind the grand and impressive walls of Buckingham Palace, where customs are carefully followed, and every smile is timed just right. For all the fuss about big royal weddings, fancy banquets, and balcony appearances, there are always small storms of rivalry and quiet arguments going on below the surface. The soft, unspoken competition between Queen Camilla and Princess Eugenie is one of these quiet but interesting stories. Family loyalty, public favor, and the desire to stay important in the world of the royal family, which is always changing, shape this delicate and careful power battle. Queen Camilla has carefully built her place in the royal family over many years. Camilla worked very hard to get where she is now. She went from being controversial to being queen consort to King Charles. Camilla keeps an eye on some people inside the house. Princess Eugenie is one of them. Eugenie's popularity has been rising in the background. She's not just a royal person. She has a job, loves art, gives to others, and is a young mother. She is the head of a well-known art gallery, and also does her royal duties with grace. This makes her seem more likable to the public than some of her royal cousins. Many people respect Eugenie's beauty and strength, but not everyone inside the royal palace is happy about her rise to fame. Laura Lopez, Camilla's daughter, is a part of this story that isn't talked about as much. Laura, who is 45 years old, has made a name for herself in the art world by co-founding the Lopes Gallery and getting praise from artists and directors. Laura doesn't have a royal title or official role in the government, but she does sometimes go to royal events and art shows with her mother. Some people close to Camilla said that she wanted to make Laura more well-known by asking that she be a mentor for the popular program 35 Under 35. This show recognizes young people who are making the world a better place. Camilla thought Laura was a great fit because she had worked in the art world before. Laura's suggestion was turned down though, which was sad. The program liked mentors who had more public support and official royal approval, which Laura did not have, even though she was talented. It was said that this refusal made things worse in the York family. Still, it wasn't the first sign of stress. There has always been some tension between Camilla and Eugenie's father, Prince Andrew. Many people looked at Camilla funny when she said she couldn't go to Princess Eugenie's wedding in 2018 because she had a school event in Scotland. The palace said there were no personal problems, but many people thought it was Camilla's sneaky way of avoiding the legal problems and crimes involving Andrews. As Eugenie continues to get more well-liked and respected by the public, old grudges may come to the surface again. She has been brave and gracious as she has talked about her family's troubled past, including private details about Prince Andrew and Prince Harry. But as her fame grows, some people in the royal family, like Queen Camilla, may be feeling a little uneasy. People who know how the palace works on the inside know that there are natural competitions going on behind the polished pictures and happy faces. Even a small change in favor or notice can mean a lot in a place where titles, invitations, and public praise are very important. The public shows that the royal family is united, but behind the scenes, old bonds, private feelings, and quiet rivalries shape royal life. The slow, quiet pace of this story is what makes it so charming. There won't be any big fights or public feuds. It's made up of small, important moments instead. A wedding was skipped, an invitation wasn't sent, and a suggestion was quietly turned down. These quiet moves, behind the scenes, send strong messages that can only be read by people who know how to read the royal signs. She put on shows for everyone, but the whispers behind her always had a place in her life. What was this big deal? Let's find out. Being affected by a scandal. There are serious and sometimes sad stories about mistakes, and the people who are hurt by them, that go on behind the scenes of royal life. One is about Prince Andrew, and the cloud that it casts over his life, and the lives of his children, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. Prince Andrew's life was once liked by many, and her mother, Queen Elizabeth II, trusted him. But the choices he made changed everything. His ties to Jeffrey Epstein, an American businessman with a bad reputation and a lot of money, caused problems that no one in the royal family saw coming. Epstein was found guilty of horrible crimes involving girls under the age of 18 in 2008. Even so, Prince Andrew stayed close to him, and this choice would soon come back to hurt him in ways he never thought possible. In 2010, pictures of Andrew and Epstein walking together in New York City's Central Park shocked a lot of people. Andrew was a trade envoy for Britain at the time, which meant he was traveling the world to represent British business interests. A senior royal being so friendly with a violent offender made a lot of people very angry. The story spread quickly through the news, and soon there were calls for Andrew to quit his job. Then even more scary news came out. It came out that Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, had taken money from Epstein to pay off her bills. The public became even more angry that people so close to the royal family were taking gifts from this man, which made things even worse. Andrew was quietly fired from his job as a trade envoy in 2011, but that wasn't the end of the story. In the years that followed, Virginia Giuffre, a brave woman, made serious charges against him. She said that Epstein raped her as a teenager and put her in situations with powerful men, such as Prince Andrew. She said she met him when she was only 17. Andrew lied about everything. It was strange that he said he couldn't have been sweating the night they were said to have danced together because of a health problem he had from fighting in the Falklands War. The strange answer made people think even less of it. In 2019, Andrew agreed to a well-known interview with the BBC to explain himself. It turned out to be one of the worst talks in the history of the royal family, not one that cleared his name. What he said, how he explained things, and his lack of empathy, made things worse. He said he didn't remember meeting Virginia, and that he was at a Pizza Express with his daughter Beatrice on the night in question. This strange excuse was the subject of many jokes and news stories. Over time, more proof came to light, such as flight records, photos, and eyewitness accounts that showed how often Andrew had been with Epstein. In one picture, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were seen at Balmoral, the Queen's estate, in Scotland. Andrew is said to have planned their trip there. It was in 2021 that Virginia sued Andrew in New York. His lawyers tried to get the case thrown out, but the court let it go ahead. The royal family was in the middle of a public storm, even though they were known for keeping private affairs between them. Andrew allegedly paid about $16 million to settle the lawsuit in secret in 2022. People saw his admission as a way to protect the royal family's reputation from more harm, even though he didn't say he did anything wrong. But Andrew wasn't the only one who was sad. This is also something that his children, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, have had to do. Even though they have their own lives, started families, worked for causes, and stayed out of the public eye, the mistakes their father made follow them around. Both of these young women have worked hard to be kind royals of today. Eugenie has earned a lot of respect for her charity work and efforts to bring attention to issues like ending slavery and scoliosis, which she herself had as a child. No matter how well they do, people always bring up the incident with their father. These two women, Beatrice and Eugenie, are now young mothers and have to protect their kids while also dealing with the effects of choices they never made. In a world where royalty is always being watched, judged, and talked about behind closed doors, they are quietly making up new, happy stories about themselves. What happened to Prince Andrew that will last? There are times in